All right. I said today I was going to record 2 podcasts. So episode 61 is already up, and now we're on episode 62, which is all about the MLB divisional series. As we just wrapped up the wild card round. RJ and I were a little confused. So the MLB used to reseed, and now they don't. So it completely messed up us a little bit, but it doesn't matter because it's not like our picks were perfect. RJ and I both took the Blue Jays to beat the Minnesota Twins, which did not happen. I took the Rangers to beat the Rays. He took the Rays to win. I was right. RJ and I both took the Brewers to beat the D-backs. We were both wrong. And we both took the Phillies to beat the Marlins, and we were both right. So Phillies-Marlins was the only series we were both right on. Currently for picks, I have 2 correct, and RJ has 1 correct. We'll have to see what goes on with the rest of the postseason. But now for today, to talk all about the wild card round and talk about the preview for the divisional round, really just the MLB playoffs in general. I got RJ back on again.
What up?
And then Andy has decided to pop on too, so it's great to have Andy here. Yes, pseudo Braves fan Andy.
He lived there, experienced the atmosphere, loved the Braves. Obviously a Guardians fan first, but always loved the Braves. So yeah.
Yeah, I got a soft spot for the Braves too, being a big Morgan Wallen guy. So.
Perfect. Yes, sir.
All right, so let's pop in. We'll start off with, I think you guys want to go like series by series? Sound good?
Let's do it.
All right, so let's start off with Twins Blue Jays. What are you guys thinking about that? And now we should say to everybody listening, I think everybody knows, but every single series went in a sweep, 2-0. Mm-hmm. So that made it pretty easy to record this podcast tonight because we got a day off from baseball.
That's very true.
You want to go? They just didn't want to compete with Bears Commanders. They knew there was no chance that matchup between the Grizzlies and Commies is going to be too good.
Shout out the Commies. Commies are sleeping it all.
The Commies getting the big win.
This is not good for American history.
All right, Jays and Twins, Andy.
Go? My thoughts were that just Royce Lewis being Royce Lewis, man. I mean, he's been a hard hitter for recent, and I just thought it was interesting how he showed up in the playoff series. Honestly, not a big Twins fan, being a Guardians fan first, but I was impressed by how he performed in this series, honestly. This Grand Slam, and yeah.
Yeah, after 21 years, Twins finally won a playoff series.
Yep.
Big games from Carlos Correa and rookie third baseman Royce Lewis. So they're going to play Houston now. They have one of the best pitching staffs in baseball. That should be a decent series because the pitching they have is good. Mm-hmm. Toronto just couldn't get anything offensively going. They could not hit. All those all-star hitters, they couldn't get anything going. Vlad got picked off, so that was kind of a momentum killer. Twins just pitched him out, hit him.
I think a thing that's really interesting to me about the series is obviously I think everyone here thought the Blue Jays were going to win. Before we get to the Twins, what does the future really look like for this Blue Jays team? You obviously have an incredibly talented roster, but I just feel like managerially, and if that's the correct word, it feels like they got a lot of issues that they always seem to be on paper one of the best teams in baseball, and we don't see it as soon as October hits.
Yeah, I think the decision to pull Barrios was a bad one. Pulled him a little bit early there. And, I mean, regular season, their hitters look good. They just cannot put it together in the postseason. They had great pitching throughout the whole regular season, but I don't know. Something would have to change. Different manager. Shohei. Go get Shohei. I don't know.
I don't think there's a chance they go.
No, they don't.
If Shohei's going to a team, if Shohei's teams I feel like he's going to, honestly, I think the Rangers are the real threat. Yeah. Because that team has shown they like to spend money.
Yeah.
And I also think the Orioles have a decent shot.
Yeah.
Because the Orioles, they got money to spend.
What about the Rays?
It's not going to be the Rays.
It's not going to be the Rays.
I would love for it to be the Rays. It's not going to be the Rays. Now, John Schneider is the Blue Jays manager. If you Google his name right now, all these articles pop up about how the players and fans are outraged. Literal words from Yahoo Sports. Fans outraged after Blue Jays pull Jose Barrios. And, I want to look at his Wikipedia page real quick. How long has he been the manager for the Blue Jays? So in 2022, they fired Charlie Montoyo and named Schneider. So he's only been a manager for about a year and a half now. He's lost in back-to-back wild cards. And I just wonder, what do we really think? Is he done?
I don't know. I don't know if you stick with what they got. I don't know. They've had the same team or similar team for a couple of years now, and they just cannot get it done in the postseason. So I don't really know where you go from here. I don't know. They feel like on paper they have a very complete roster, but they can just never get it done. So I don't know.
In my opinion, they're slowly becoming the Dodgers of the AL. Every year at the beginning of the year, you see them picked to be in the World Series, and come playoff time, they're usually out before the pennant even starts.
Yeah.
So
What's interesting is that the Blue Jays actually had more hits than the Twins in Game 2, but they just left so many on base, and that seemed to be the theme throughout the series. I think they left like 17 players on base through both games, which is just insane, and they didn't score a run in the second game despite having 9 hits. So maybe it's just clutch hitting. Maybe their players just don't have that clutch factor. Because I mean, I'm looking at this list and it seems like these guys have like some sort of playoff experience. I mean, you can maybe not Varsho being with the Diamondbacks when they were not good, and then obviously the Diamondbacks resurged this year. But you have guys like Brandon Bell, played for the Giants, has playoff experience. Obviously, all the people that have been with Toronto for a while, they have playoff experience. But I mean, they just weren't there. I mean, Vlad in this last game went 0 for 3. Bichette showed up. Bichette went 2 for 4. But yeah, I think that's an interesting theme.
I love Bo Bichette. I think that roster, you read it off, full of talent. I mean, George Springer's still in the squad.
Yep.
Obviously, super talented. He used to be called Mr. October for a minute there. I mean,
he went 2 for 4, Game 2. So
yes, I mean, one of the most clutch hitters in whether he knows the call or not, he's been one of the most clutch hitters in playoff history.
Yes,
and
sir.
you added him thinking that would help you out in the playoffs, and clearly it didn't. I just am a little concerned they're wasting Vladdy and Bo Bichette, and what was originally talked about a couple years ago as a young core is starting to be entering their prime, within the next couple of years. So I do think they need to clean things up on the Blue Jays side. I'm not sure what exactly the move is. I'm willing to bet John Schneider is going to be done as manager. They're going to bring somebody else in. I don't believe they're going to go out and make a huge signing this offseason. I bet it's more of an internal rebuilding, see what they can fix on the inside type of year. Mm-hmm. It's funny you mentioned that about the hits and leaving players on base. Makes me think about, obviously, Foolish Baseball is big enough. He doesn't need my shout-out. But he made a great video on the 2020 Mets that was about the Mets. 2020 Mets were elite, but they weren't clutch. And it was basically talking about how, on paper, they're one of the best hitting teams in MLB history, and they had a losing record because it was just the hits didn't get strung together at the correct time. And so I think it's always interesting.
Yeah.
There's a nature of baseball where you can hit a double every inning, but it doesn't matter if you can't get 2 guys to get them home.
Got to string them together.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's all about going on a run. So we talked about the Blue Jays. Let's shift it over to the Twins.
Yeah.
I think a good amount of us have seen the Twins live this year, because they played the Guardians all the time.
Yeah.
And I think we all agree they weren't a very good team. So what happened?
I think just pitching showed up. I mean, Sonny Gray, 5 innings, 5 hits, 0 earned runs, only 2 walks. I mean, he just got guys off base. I mean, obviously the Blue Jays hit him, but they didn't hit him. They didn't string anything together. Sonny Gray just locked in and, kept mowing him down after a hit. He just locked in. And then their bullpen held it down, too. Their bullpen had 6 Ks through about 5 innings, 5.2 innings. Or, sorry, 4.2 innings, I apologize. But, yeah, their bullpen just locked it down, only gave up 4 hits. So, yeah, I think their bullpen just locked in for once. I mean, we didn't really see that throughout the regular season. But, yeah, Sonny Gray just continued to be Sonny Gray, and that's kind of what helped him win that last game.
Yeah, Twins got one of the better starting rotations in baseball, and like you said, the bullpen locked in, and they got the timely hits where the Blue Jays did not. They had the bigger hits, so you combine all those, and that's the name of the game.
I feel like the Twins just got hot at the right time. Their pitching stepped up, like you're saying, Sonny Gray.
Yep.
So, an interesting thing for the Twins. Now, the Twins are going to be playing now against the Astros. What are we thinking here?
I mean, it's the playoff Astros, man. You can't compete with that, unfortunately. I feel like the Astros just outshine the Twins in almost every category. The only place that I would say they can compete would be if the Astros pitchers just randomly regress, but I don't see that happening. And yeah, I don't see the Twins hitting keeping up with the Houston's offense. Houston's offense is lethal right now, man. I mean,
you're not here for the Carlos Correa revenge series?
I am not here for the Carlos Correa revenge series. I feel like he had a good series, obviously, but I feel like he's just not worth the contract they gave him, no matter what he does.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, Astros on paper and on the field are just dominant. Every year in the postseason, they seem to go pretty far. I mean, they got Tucker, Alvarez, Bregman, Altuve. They just got guys out there in Houston.
I love how you named Tucker first. You're the most
big
pure
Tucker
Kyle Tucker
Big
fan
Tucker
I've ever
guy.
met.
Yeah, he's good.
Kyle Tucker's amazing.
Yeah, I think he's still underrated.
Don't you have him like every fantasy baseball league?
Yeah, I love Kyle Tucker.
He's the Travis Kelce of your fantasy teams.
Yeah, I love him. They still got a good rotation to compete with the Twins. I think went out and got Verlander, still got Valdez, Javier, Hunter Brown. Good bullpen still. So, I mean, I'm taking the Astros here, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Twins make it close, just because if they can't get those timely hits and if their pitching does keep this up, they could make it close. But I just can't bet against the Astros here.
Me personally, I'm seeing a 3-game series here. I don't think there's going to be too much buffoonery.
Okay.
I think it's going to be done real quick. Didn't want to toss this in there. Carlos Correa, the Mets and Giants, neither of them made the playoffs, so great choice by him going to Minnesota.
Oh, for sure.
There you go.
I just want to toss that out there. Both the teams he thought about signing with didn't make the playoffs, so maybe Carlos Correa is that difference maker. I'm completely glazing, but I think it's humorous. Let's shift over now. Do we want to save the Rays for last, or is now the time?
Oh, that's tough. I have a friend that's a Rays fan. I saw a lot of reactions out of him. Let's do it right now.
All right, do it
All
outside
right.
too.
I do want to toss it out there. Quick stat I saw. The Rays are currently 1-8 in the postseason since the 2020 World Series in Game 6 when they pulled Blake Snell in a move that I think has kind of defined Kevin Cash's career as manager there.
I think he needs to retire and go, or not retire, get fired and go to the Guardians.
Go to the Guards.
Go to the Guards.
I think he would absolutely kill it
Come
in
home.
Cleveland.
He
Yeah.
would, honestly.
As good as they are in the regular season, he never seems to be able to put it together in the postseason. I think it's time for Cash to go somewhere else. I think he's still a really good manager, but different scenery could help him a little bit. And for Texas, after leading the AL for 159 days during the season, last day of the year, they lost to the Astros. They had to go to the wild card, but I think they took that to heart and they stepped up, a little revenge, got the Rays, and their pitching was dominant. Montgomery and Evaldi looked amazing. And what was worrying me was the bullpen, but they held it down, and Rangers had the better lineup. So as long as the pitching could hold it down, they were going to win. That's what they did. Got the sweep.
And the Rays proved the age-old adage: you never pick a team that peaked early. I mean, they're playing their best baseball back in the spring. Never take a team like that to go far. And there you go. And on top of that, the Rangers started playing their best baseball in the dog days, August and September, and that's always a good sign. I think this Rangers team's got some real legs on it. Me personally, I think I'm going to say the same thing about the NL. I think the actual pennants are happening in the divisional round. Because for my money, Orioles-Rangers is the AL pennant. The winner of that is going to the World Series. And Phillies-Braves is the NL pennant. The winner of that is going to the World Series. I wish they were reseeding because I think those are the two true pennants. And the fact that they're going to be playing the divisional in 5 games makes it kind of even more exciting, to be honest.
Okay.
All right.
It's going to be cinema.
Don't sleep on Houston, though.
Houston's just an ALCS lock in general, so.
Yeah. I feel like the Rangers and Orioles are both better than Houston. The Orioles, it's just Orioles magic. That's why I believe in them. The Rangers, it's that lineup. That's the best 1-9 in any AL team, for my money. I think they're the only team in the AL that I prefer their lineup over the Astros.
Yeah.
And shout out to Evan Carter, too. Rookie came up. I think he made an error in the series, but he bounced back with some big hits. I think he had a home run as well. I think. But, yeah, Evan Carter really came through. He was big. Their lineup is sick. And Evaldi and Montgomery combined for 1 earned run over 13.2 innings pitched. That was the story there. They were dominant, and the bullpen held it down. So, yeah, Rays got dominated.
Yeah, I did want to toss this out there. I had to check his stats to make sure I was right before I said this. Corey Seager quietly having one of the best seasons of his career.
Crazy.
I mean, he's been
about to talk about
absolutely insane this year. In the regular season, 327 batting average, 390 OBP, an OPS of over 1,000, 113 is what it is. An OPS plus a 170. Anytime you're going over 150 with OPS plus, you're cooking. Everybody who listens to the podcast knows I love me ERA plus and OPS plus. Great stat. For those of you who don't know, 100 is average. So if you're significantly above 100, you're significantly better than the average OPS. So 170, he's nearing being 3/4 better than the average. So that's just incredible work from Corey Seager. Love the fact that he left the Dodgers, and love the fact he's killing it for the Texas Rangers, because everything's bigger in Texas, including Corey Seager's batting numbers.
Andy?
He showed up in the series for sure. Batted 500, OPS at 875 in the series. I mean, he showed up big time.
Playoff baseball from Mr. Seager.
He's quietly going to have like a great season. He's quietly going to have like one of the best seasons we've seen. Obviously, he's overshadowed by Acuna, Betts, even Ohtani, despite his injury. But I feel like Seager's going to be up there for a while, man.
Yeah.
He's amazing. Such a good talent. Such a sweet swing, too.
I think the thing with Seager is, and you're right, beautiful swing, is, he just doesn't have like this big superstar personalities we see of, well, right now the picture I'm going to have up for the episode is Bryce Harper and Ronald Acuna Jr. When you think about the MLB, you're picturing Trout, Acuna, Harper, Shohei, those guys, because that's the guys that you think. You don't think Corey Seager. No. You don't usually see an MLB let's play ball commercial with Corey Seager swinging the bat. But he's probably a top 10 player in the league right now.
Yeah. 100%. Not even close.
And he doesn't have the sexiness of Juan Soto when it comes to like, oh man, look at those numbers. And he doesn't have like the energy of a Bryce Harper or the swagger of a Ronald Acuna Jr.
Would you argue he has the aura, though?
The aura?
The aura, my bad.
The aura? Yeah, you're good. No, there's only one English teacher listening to the podcast, so you're good.
Perfect. We're fine.
The aura. I feel like Seager does not have a lot of aura.
No,
I will say
not.
his man's at 0 aura, so I think that's maybe what it is.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of aura.
He's straight to business.
Like
man.
Simeon has a lot of aura.
Oh,
Yeah.
Simeon. You can even argue Dolis Garcia. Maybe that's based off the TikTok page, but the fan page.
Yeah. But I'm saying that Rangers team, it's got fun energy. I do want to toss it out there. You guys know I'm a big jersey guy. Beautiful uniforms. The script Rangers, mwah,
those are
bon
clean.
appetit,
Those are
excelente.
sexy.
It's like Ratatouille level of divine.
On the other side, real quick, the Rays season ends in disappointing fashion. They peaked too early. Glasnow and Eflin did not look great, but I think the real problem for the Rays was the errors. They had the 5 errors in Game 1. Oh no, 4 were in Game 1, and then they had 1 in the second game. But that's what doomed them. They did not play. You think of Rays baseball, it's always like, clean, good defense, timely hitting, good pitching, but that was not the case in this series. Pitching did not look good. Fielding looked atrocious, and they had no fans in the stadium, and they're building a new one in the same spot, so I don't really get that either.
God.
But
The Moneyball Rays, man.
The Moneyball Rays.
That's what. If you're not doing Moneyball with no errors, you're not doing Moneyball well at all. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing is you're gonna play that. Getting guys that are a little bit of misfits, making them work. You gotta be hitting on all cylinders. You can't. There's no room for mistakes there. So I think where's the future here for the Rays?
Future here is just building building around their team. Yandy Diaz is still younger, and he's been amazing this season. But there's also just like no aura around the franchise. I'm not gonna lie. 80% capacity for both games. They're in a terrible stadium situation in which they're building one right in the same spot, which is the issue. There's just no aura around the franchise. I mean, I feel like a big part of the game is just trying to build and develop your team to be like the best for fans, and that's just not happening there. As good as their team is, it just doesn't happen.
they do have guys in the minors. Junior
Caminero traded from the Guardians for some reason.
Never trade with the Rays, by the way. They always finesse, but
That's
he's going to be a
never
dog.
trade with the Rays
Unless it's Aaron Savali.
Yeah,
That's the only one.
Curtis Mead. They have someone else coming, like Carson Williams, I think, a shortstop. So they have some guys in the minors that Yanni Diaz, Randy Rosarena, Isak Paredes, Josh Lowe. I mean, they got a decent team there, and I think they're still going to be good for the foreseeable future. They always are.
Yeah.
But I don't know where they go from here. I think you move on from Kevin Cash is the next move. Try to get a different manager. I
Just
think.
get a franchise reset type thing. Change.
I don't know because McClanahan. I mean, once their pitching's healthy, hopefully, I mean, they'll get better. Their pitching's always a little unhealthy though.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I mean, even Glasnow didn't have the best game. 5 innings.
And that's their stud. Glasnow's supposed to be that guy.
How'd Eflin look? I didn't think he was anything crazy.
Who are you looking for?
Zach Eflin. I think he started game 2.
Oh, this is game 1. My bad. Eflin, 5 innings, 8. Oh, not good.
Yeah.
5 innings, 8 hits, 4 earned runs. Yeah.
Yeah, the Rays rely on the pitching and defense, and neither of those showed up in those 2 games, so that was the problem for them.
Exactly.
To me, it's really interesting to see the Rangers versus Rays because it's kind of like it's big hitting, big offense, big money team versus we're gonna use our pitching to our advantage. We're gonna make little amount of mistakes, not a lot of big money, small market versus the Texas Rangers. Which, granted, the Rangers historically are not a very good franchise, but they're trying to change that narrative right now. And I give their owner a lot of credit. The dude just woke up one day and was like, we're going to be a winning baseball team. And he just started spending money and going out and getting Simeon. Then he went out and got DeGrom, which, the injury hurt him, but still. They just keep going out. I wouldn't be surprised they went out and got Shohei this summer. Their owner has shown he just wants to – it's like the Padres owner just woke up one day and was like, it's time to start winning games. And, it doesn't always work out, for the Mets and for the Padres, but other times it does, like the Rangers. And I think it can bring real energy to a fan base. And I think the Rays have the opposite of that going on.
Yeah.
They had a little bit of energy, 2020, 2021 range, and now it started dying off because I feel like they didn't buy in as much as their fans did. And I think that's the thing with baseball is it's the most energy-based sport, I think, in the business. Sometimes, that's why I never picked the Dodgers to win the World Series. It just feels like that team has no life behind it. It feels like it's a machine. It's very product-based.
It feels commercial. Almost.
Yeah, it's like they're the Dodgers. They're built to win.
Unlike the Phillies, who I feel like have a lot of energy. Clubhouse is amazing.
Oh my gosh. The best headline I saw, I give Barstool Sports credit. Every once in a while they still cook up something good. And it was the Phillies winning baseball games is just an excuse for them to party. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what this team does.
I
Like,
love that team.
Anytime you win, you see some crazy video of like Schwarber like drinking 3 beers at once or something
yeah.
crazy.
Or Bryce Harper going absolutely insane and like an umpire or something.
I saw a video. It was their trainer. She had like a victory bell,
Yep.
and she was ringing. And they were just like pouring champagne. I'm like, you guys won the wild card. You guys are like, it's like this is
I just
crazy.
want to get drunk, man. I respect
Dude,
it.
yeah.
They're just committed to the grind, I guess. The Phillies, they truly embody the Philly city. It's
To circle back on the
Philly
Rangers
sports
and
right now
Rays-
having a moment.
Oh yeah, for sure. To circle back on the Rangers and Rays, though, I mean the Rangers owner, I give him credit, man. I mean people shit on that barn of a stadium, but it solved a big problem with their attendance and like franchise, the heat of the Texas sun, and I mean with that new stadium, he brought new events. Obviously, the World Series was played there, not by Texas, but that's still an event there. And then with that, he just kind of started investing into his team, which is getting the fans to invest. Because now they're in a domed air-conditioned stadium watching an amazing product, and it's just good for business, man.
Good ownership.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Rangers
I mean,
Park.
it's been ranked like one of the best stadiums, like with like technicality wise.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's
That
amazing.
Arlington Stadium's great. So I
Other than the exterior, I love the stadium. Honestly, it's a good.
You
it's a
been?
good vibe. No, I haven't been, but like just looking at
yeah,
it.
my mom wants to go to every MLB stadium. I'm sure she could text me the list.
That's on my bucket list as
She
well.
loved. Actually, she said her favorite atmosphere was the Phillies. She said it was.
I believe
I
it.
believe
She said it was
for sure.
exceptional atmosphere. They went this year. They went about a month ago,
Okay.
and she loved it. My mom,
Yeah.
I know she's going to be listening. She loves Bryce Harper and Alec Baum. I think she's got a crush on both. And yeah, she was very disappointed to figure out they don't sell Alec Baum jerseys in the team store. She argues that they were just sold out. So,
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Perfect.
All right.
Do we want to move over to the NL?
Yeah.
Let's say Phillies for last.
Okay, D-backs and
We'll
Brewers.
start off with D-backs Brewers. I think we were all surprised by this.
For sure.
Andy?
I was, at
I
least.
can't say I wasn't. I mean, as great as the Brewers are, obviously being division champs and all, I just feel like Arizona just had a little bit more to them.
A little more dog in them.
Yeah, a little more dog in them.
Little more
I feel like
fight.
that's my.
You're
That's
talking about a dog, Zach Gallen.
Zach Gallen. Is,
Yeah,
What do you go,
he's
7 innings? I watched that game last night.
Yeah, something
He
like that.
went, and there was crazy stat they pulled up. It was 33 minutes. The one inning lasted 33 minutes, like the half inning. So he had to take a 33-minute break between pitching. He came out, took care of business, no problem.
6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs. I mean, that'll win you a playoff game. I promise you that.
Yeah, 2 earned runs in a playoff game.
And their bullpen
That's
held
fine.
it down, man. I mean, let's see. No earned runs, no walks, no runs,
Wow.
4 hits in about 3 innings.
Yeah.
When I give their
4 innings,
closer
I
credit, I
apologize.
was watching this last night.
Seawald?
Yeah, who was it?
Seawald.
I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember who
From
it
the
was.
Mariners.
Okay. Yeah, so he came in, and it was, I mean, the final score doesn't tell the whole story because it was 2 outs, and they got a guy on second, and it's like, oh, crap, they might get something. And he takes care of business after Christian Yelich gets a hit, moves the guy forward, and it's like they got a guy, I think it was Yelich is at second, he's at third, and he comes out and strikes out the next kid.
Yeah, Diamondbacks had a little more fight in them, I think. I think every year the Brewers are good in the regular season, kind of like the Rays, but they're just not a super exciting team, I feel like. And I feel like they don't have a ton of fight in them. And they're just kind of boring. Where the Diamondbacks were more energetic. Gallen looked amazing. Corbin Carroll looked electric. He's amazing for a rookie.
Oh my gosh, Corbin Carroll! I say it all the time. Doesn't even feel like he's a rookie. He feels like he's been in the
Yeah,
league for
no,
years. He's so
it's
good.
crazy. Corbin Burns, 4 earned runs over 4 innings pitched. He did not look amazing. And then for the Diamondbacks, Evan Longoria looked amazing at third. Made some good defensive plays.
Oh
so.
man, I felt like every time I flipped the channel back to that game, he was doing something impressive. I give
Yeah.
Evan Longoria credit. It feels like he's been playing baseball my whole life. He's out here killing it.
And yeah, more exciting team, a little more dog in them, more energetic, and I'm happy for the Diamondbacks.
To give credit to the Brewers, though, Carlos Santana, I feel like he's had one of the quietest veteran careers I've seen in a long
Yeah.
time. He just showed up and worked, man. I mean, second game, 1 for 2, 2 walks.
Always getting walks.
First game, RBI. He went 1 for 5 that game, but still, one of them was an RBI, and that's
There
what
you
you
go.
need out of a guy. So I feel like Carlos Santana just came in. He got traded from the Pirates, was good with the Pirates even. He just came in and had that veteran presence, and the Brewers just, I don't know, I feel like they didn't respond around him.
I think the Brewers, it's funny, they feel like a team full of veterans because Josh Donaldson's also on that team.
Donaldson,
He had a
Yelich.
costly, he got tagged out at second base.
Yeah.
It was rough.
I like Sal Frelick though in that outfield. He's a dog out there. Good defensive player. I think he's gonna be good. And they got
I'm
they
a
got
big Willie Adames guy.
yeah, they got Jackson Churio. Am I saying that right? He's coming up probably next year. Jefferson Quoro. I think he's the catcher they have in the minors. So they have a decent little farm system there. But I think Craig Counsell's their manager. His contract's up, and I don't know how much longer he's got there because they keep making the postseason, but like the Rays, not going very far. I think they're pretty similar teams, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I think they both have some question marks at manager, and they got to assess that in the offseason.
I think I predicted him to win Manager of the Year. I know the playoffs shouldn't affect the voting, but I'm willing to bet the Diamondbacks manager wins Manager of the Year for the NL.
Really? I'm trying to think who.
It's going to be him or Craig Counsell. I don't think anybody else has a chance.
Yeah.
Who's the Braves manager?
He's not winning it.
He's not going to win it. You have to win like 110 to be the best record and win it.
Yeah.
Especially when they were good last year.
So you think Brewers or Diamondbacks?
It'll be Brewers Diamondbacks, guaranteed.
Yeah.
I think the Diamondbacks.
It'll be the Diamondbacks. I forget exactly what his name was. It was like Tyron or something. It started with a T.
Do you think Hyde has it locked up for the AL?
Yes.
Hyde?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think he
For sure.
100%
100%.
does.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. If
He's
it's
been-
not him, it's a freaking joke. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Oh,
It has to be.
yeah.
No, he'll win it for sure.
Exactly. I agree.
Anything else on that?
I think we talked about where the Brewers should go from here. What do we all think of the Diamondbacks going forward?
I feel like they're like one free agent signing away from being like an amazing team. I mean, obviously they have a star-studded outfield with Loudis Gurriel came from the Blue Jays. I apologize. Corbin Carroll's been amazing, but I feel like they just need one more guy just to come in there and just do his job.
Yeah, they're a great young team. Carroll, Jordan Lawler, the shortstop, I
That's
think
what I was
he'll
gonna
be coming
say.
up.
If he comes up next year and he's a stud, maybe that's the answer. Is Jordan Lawlar coming
Could
up?
be, yeah.
You know, former number one pick, sixth pick by the Diamondbacks.
2021.
Yeah. So in the 2021 draft, super young. I mean, he's only July 17th, 2002. Yeah, he's only about 2 years older than me. So.
And first baseman Christian Walker's, I think, super underrated. He
100%.
had himself. He's great season. I think he had a home run in the series. He's phenomenal. He's a big piece of what they got going on there. So
Yes.
they got a nice young core there as well. They can add a couple more starting pitchers and a little bit more in that bullpen. I think that could be a problem the rest of this postseason and next year.
So you're saying Diamondbacks, Dodgers. What are we looking at here?
I think Diamondbacks got it next year. I don't see I can't see the Dodgers unless they go out and sign Shohei, which.
No,
don't know.
this postseason.
Oh, this postseason. I am stupid. I
okay.
apologize. I thought you were talking about next year with the division. I think I'm gonna have to give it to the Diamondbacks.
You think they're gonna keep the energy?
I think they're gonna keep the energy.
Yeah.
I feel like they're gonna be just more energetic. I feel like the Dodgers just are gonna come out flat. I mean, we've seen that before. Mm-hmm. So,
I agree. Brewers and Dodgers have the same robotic feel to them, and I think the Diamondbacks' energy is going to come out big way. They're gonna cause some trouble. I think they're gonna make it. I think they're gonna move on and
The pennant.
yeah, I
Wow.
think they're going to.
Okay.
All right. Well,
No, not win the pennant.
no,
but,
to be in the pennant.
yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah. I think we're all in agreement that Phillies Braves is the pennant.
Oh, yeah.
Like the winner of that's winning the NLCS anyway.
Unless the Diamondbacks win and then just stay hot and someone falls flat. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm gonna be the bearer of bad news. I think the Dodgers are gonna take care of them. It might take 5 games.
Yeah.
I think the series goes to 5 games either way, but I think the Diamondbacks just have a little bit more juice in them.
I don't love this Dodgers team, but
I think Kelly.
I don't want to bet against them. I mean, this team did win 100 games.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, it's
they're
obviously
a
a
great
quality
team.
team, and I think it feels like that's what Diamondbacks run are going to end. I don't have a lot of things to back it up other than the fact that just the vibe, it just feels like the Dodgers are going to end their season, and then the Dodgers versus Phillies or Dodgers versus Braves is like destiny to be the pennant. And, then the Dodgers lose.
I think if Kelly and Gallen can pitch well and they can get one more decent game out of another guy, they could have a real shot at this. And
Gallen just looks like a stud every time he's out there on
Yeah.
the mound, guys. He's so good.
yeah, him and Kelly are a great one too.
Yeah.
One of the best in baseball. So, yeah, I mean, I'm excited for that series. Should we go to Phillies?
Oh, yeah, it's time for the real
it
pennant,
is
baby.
time.
This is going to be the best DS I think I've seen in a long time.
I hope it lives up to
I'm
its
so pumped.
expectations because holy.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think, was Guards Yankees, was that a wild card or was that?
That was a DS.
That was a DS last year, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a DS.
That was an amazing series.
That is like another really good DS. And this has the makings of something like that. Except instead of being underdog super team, it's 2 of the best teams in baseball. 2 teams that look absolutely electric. I mean, the Braves all year have just looked like they own the MLB. And the Phillies are just super energetic. They look even better than they did last year. And last year they looked great. I think this Phillies team, it's 2 of the best players in baseball. Bryce Harper, has really in the last couple of years gotten back to, they kind of forgot about him for a little bit, like the 2017, 18, 19 range. He leaves the Nats. They win a World Series without him. He's finally bringing the energy that he is one of the best players in the game. And Ronald Acuna Jr. is pretty much making a stake as, I'm the best player not named Shohei Ohtani. So
yeah.
it's like two of the absolute superstars of the MLB. This should be on everybody's television. This is the best series.
This is a must-watch.
I'm like, this is a must-watch. This is like the cinema series. It's going to be great.
Real quick, going back to Phillies and Marlins, a little recap.
Yo, you want to talk? We should probably talk about Phillies Marlins first.
Yeah, not a ton to talk about, to be honest.
I
Phillies
feel like
kind of dominated
they owned them.
Bryson Stott, grand slam. I mean, it wasn't really close.
These rookies are showing out.
Did you see the cut of that without the
Oh my
announcers?
God, that was amazing.
Oh, just the crowd
The stadium
noise.
going crazy. Oh, it was great. It was so
Yeah.
great. That Phillies stadium, that is the most electric
It is.
atmosphere.
I want to be there so badly for this Braves series. I mean,
You know how
it's
much
gonna be
ticket
unreal.
would be?
Oh, I'll be like, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I saw something like every other ticket price was like $20 to get in, like at the lower end, but these were like $200 at the lower end. So
It's crazy.
yeah, it's gonna be a good series.
We need to talk about second half Trey Turner, man. This man has been awful.
Shout out to the Phillies crowd.
They're
Oh,
cheering
my
him
God.
on.
Yeah.
Instead of,
Just
you think the
energizing.
Phillies fans are going to boo him, they cheered him on. Like
Yeah.
the Phillies fans, the character arc of the Phillies fans, crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Just batting .571 in the playoff series, 2 for 4 in the second game. Just absolutely electric, man.
Mm-hmm.
An RBI in it.
It looks like an incredible free agent signing. You go to the World Series, lose, and then you pick up one of the best shortstops in the game, if not the best right now.
And for
Great
him to
work.
make him worth it, despite that struggling first half, oh my God, that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing out of him.
Philly crowd really turned him around.
Oh,
he looks
yeah.
phenomenal.
For sure.
Two of the most well-rounded teams in baseball going into it here. No holes in either team, I don't think. Both teams have good bullpens, good starting pitching,
Gosh.
good hitting.
Think about, they got like Zach Wheeler, absolute dog. I mean, absolute stud for the Phillies. I love every single Phillies starter. I honestly would argue that the Phillies starting pitching is stronger than the Braves.
I would agree.
Depth-wise, yes. Top-wise, obviously Strider's.
I love Strider, but
I love Strider, but I
he
honestly
can have his bad games.
he can have his bad games. At the same time, he still strikes players out.
He does.
which is just, like,
I'm trying to look here. I really want to look
And
at,
plus, maybe Strider has been carried by that absolutely electric offense, which is why he has. What did he get? Did he get 20 wins this year?
At 25, I think.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if I can get the projected starters for this weekend. They're going to give it to me. They're not going to give it to me. I want to
Yeah.
know. Yeah,
Probably
I'm
not
saying
gonna know.
my argument is I think Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler might be the best 1-2 starters in any team.
Okay.
I don't know. Gallen and Kelly are.
Allen
They're
and
pretty
Kelly.
dominant.
But it's better than the Braves.
You don't like Strider and Fried?
They also have.
I think they're good, but
Kyle
I
Wright.
think Zach Wheeler is
Bryce
just like
Elder?
a unit.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Braves are good too, dude.
Braves
Kyle
are
Wright,
really good.
Bryce Elder.
This is just two great
Yeah.
offenses and two great pitchers facing off.
Also, two great uniform sets. Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
I just
I agree.
want to toss that
For
out
sure.
there. It's some of the best looking teams in the league.
Personally, as a Braves fan, I didn't like their City Connect uniforms. I like the actual throwbacks better, but I mean their City Connects.
I just think those are heat right there.
Those
Yeah,
are amazing.
just the ones just on the screen
white-
right now.
Yeah, the white ones. Oh my God, they're amazing. And the Phillies, you can't go wrong with any
Yeah.
single uniform in that.
Oh, every single uniform the Phillies has looks great. I mean, they got the cream ones, they got the blue ones, the powder blues are
The
great.
powder blues are the best.
The red pinstripe ones are nice. I mean, everything the Phillies got is some of. I think RJ, we decided that the Phillies are the best looking gear. It was them versus the A's, and we said the A's were best and Phillies were second.
Yeah. We both agreed they had some of the better stuff in baseball.
Yeah.
So, yeah, two great bullpens as well, all around. No holes in either of the teams. It's going to be a great series. I think it's going to go to 5, super close. Who do you guys have pulling it out?
Before we get to that, I do want to toss out a little bit about the Marlins.
Okay.
I think the Marlins are in a terrible spot because they're not good enough to do anything, and they're not bad enough to change anything. I think they're genuinely just going to run it back again, which is not going to be good for this team because you guys saw the Jazz Chisholm interview where he's like, I feel like I can go to the moon or something like that, and then it was like 0 for 8, 0 batting. Like, he did
Not
terrible.
Exactly he batted 0 on this whole playoff series.
That's tough.
0 for 4 with 2 Ks in the last game. Yeah.
I mean, other than that big arm he showed when he tagged Castellanos out,
Yeah.
that was it. That was like his one highlight.
When his best highlight in the playoff series is defensive highlight. That's usually not good for a star player, especially.
Yeah, unless it's like a Javier Baez no-look tag in like
Oh,
2016. That's like the only time.
Yeah, that's different. But yeah, just Marlins.
Not in a good spot.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know. Their owner's not really known for spending much, right?
No,
No,
they do not.
Yeah.
no,
I
cheapskate.
do like Yuri Perez. I think he's going to be really good for a while. The hitting's just not there, I don't think.
And they traded one of their top prospects for Josh Bell. I mean, Josh Bell, let's see. Josh Bell batted 500 in the series, so he did good, but I mean, Josh Bell's not going to save your franchise,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, I was very confused what they thought they were doing. I don't know what, like, that feels like a move that like like the Rangers would have made.
Yeah.
Or like just to add another big bat. And it was weird that the Marlins made that move. I don't understand
100%.
what the direction is for the franchise.
When I saw Josh Bell was going to the Marlins on that trade deadline day, I was just confused because, I mean, the Marlins, they're third in their division. I mean, they're competing with the Phillies and the Braves, which are obviously the top 2 teams in baseball. But you don't trade a top prospect for Josh Bell, respectfully. And maybe I'm just saying that because I saw him only in a Guardians jersey where he was terrible. But, yeah, I understand adding a big bat, but that's about it.
Yeah, they're in a tough spot because, I mean, they're nowhere close to being able to compete with the Phillies and the Braves and the Dodgers of the world. I don't really know where they go from here. They're just kind of average. They did make the playoffs, which is cool, but they're just not going to win anything.
I felt like everybody agreed that was the worst team in playoffs on either side, though.
Yeah, I mean, they're third in their division. They're not going to be the best team. I did like them trading for Jake Berger. I believe he's younger.
I think he had a good...
He played well, actually.
Okay, he's 27, so
He
he's
played
not as
all
young as
right.
I thought.
He played all right.
Jake Berger batted 286 in the series. Not terrible.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I feel like he's not going to save your franchise. He's not going to be able to compete with Chisholm. I mean, even Arias. Arias was a contact hitter. But Arias batted 125 in this series, so...
You got nothing from him.
Yeah, absolutely nothing from him. In the last game, 0 for 4. Granted, they were all contact outs, but, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, this was just a tale of one team was way better than the other.
Yeah,
That's what it
100%.
comes down to, so... want to go to Phillies and Braves now?
Yes.
Let's talk about this.
All right. We're going to be watching this one, I'm assuming, every night it's on.
Yep.
We're all going to be in the east side watching this, and I'm going to take Braves because it's my original prediction. There's no point in me changing at this moment.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be honest, I would not be shocked if this Phillies team goes to the World Series. I think if the Phillies beat the Braves, it's dunzos. They win the World Series. That is my take.
Win?
Wow.
The World Series. I think, honestly, I don't see any team beating either of these teams. I think this,
Wow.
I know I already said this is my pennant. Dead serious, this might be my World Series.
I only see the
don't.
Texas teams being able to even compete with either of those teams. The Rangers and the Astros.
You do or don't?
Do.
Do?
Those are the only
Yeah.
teams that could compete with them.
I mean, Houston every year has shown that they can, so I'm never
Yeah.
going to count them out. Rangers' offense looks lethal. If their bullpen and starting pitching can hold it up, they can be a problem.
100%.
But these two teams are very well-rounded. I originally picked Braves, but I'm having second thoughts.
Oh, don't.
Phillies
You're
got me
really
going
going
a
to
little bit.
switch? I mean, come
I know,
on.
I'm not
Cannot
trying
switch
to.
on the Braves.
I'm going to stick with them, but I would not be surprised at all if Philly pulled this out.
I wouldn't be shocked, but I'm being serious. If the Phillies can beat the Braves, the Phillies can beat anybody in the entire league.
I agree.
The World Series is theirs.
They can, yeah.
I think the Braves,
theirs, but-
if the Braves beat the Phillies, it's just proving how good they are. I think the Braves don't have anything to prove. It's the Phillies that have something to prove, which was what scares me, because the Braves have nothing to prove, which means they have everything to lose.
I'd argue that they do have something to prove.
Really?
I think they got to prove that they're one of the best team offensive
'Cause
teams
last
in
year-
NFL history, or NBA or MLB history.
Yeah, we got
You went. Hey, eventually you're gonna get there. You had to name the other
I
two.
can't. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, but I think they do have something to prove. They got to prove that their regular season wasn't like a fluke almost. Obviously, you're 162 games. You're not going to be a fluke, but they got to prove that they can do it in the playoffs, man. I mean, they've been DS exits ever since they won their World Series.
So who do you
It's only
got?
been one season.
Oh yeah, they've just proved.
Wasn't this the DS match last year between them?
Yep, and the Phillies dominated them.
And I'm saying this is revenge for the
Yes.
Braves. So I guess you're right. They do have something on the line.
They do have something.
So who do you
going on.
got winning it?
I got Braves in 4.
We all have Braves. Ooh!
I have in 5.
4, okay.
You think Braves take care of business?
I think Braves take care of business. I feel like Philly game 3, they're gonna come out. Or wait, yeah, game 3, they're just gonna come out. The energy at home is gonna be crazy no matter what happens. The first 2 games, I feel like the Phillies take that game. I feel like game 4, Braves come in, lock it down, just lock the gates.
Well, would Game 4 be in Philly though?
Yes.
So the reason I say 5 is because that means the Phillies win it. The Braves win every home game and lose every away game. That's part of the reason I'm thinking 5.
Okay.
And you're saying for 4, that requires the Braves to win one in Philly, which is crazy.
I think they can. I honestly think they can. I went to one Braves game this year, and it was against the Diamondbacks. Corbin Carroll absolutely mashed a home run, put the D-backs up 3 runs. And I'm used to Guardians games where if someone hits a home run against us, it's over. Mm-hmm. For the Braves, I saw how resilient they were. Matt Olson had himself a game. It was just home run after home run after that, and they bounced back. I feel like the Braves just have a lot of resilience in them, and I feel like they're going to demonstrate that in this series.
Yeah, Braves led the MLB in home runs by a long shot. They just look dominant.
Guardians were the last in the league by a long shot.
So, I mean, it's rough. We don't have to talk about that.
I saw a grand total of 1 home run hit, and I went into like 8 games.
Yeah, that's kind of rough.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can almost see. I'm going to take Braves in 4, but
Whoa, Andy convinced you.
he did.
Yes,
but
sir.
I'm in a different way. I think Philly comes out, wins game 1, and the
Okay.
Braves win out from there.
All right.
So that's where I'm going to go with. But me and Andy both agree Braves in 4. You got Braves in 5.
I got Braves in 5, baby. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be MLB baseball. It's going to be great. Hope the numbers are up for attendance. Hopefully they're up for viewership. They should be outdoing the NBA in ratings because as much as I like the NBA, MLB is cooking with gas right now, for real.
Oh, my God.
They've been putting out some good stuff.
I love
These past 2
October.
years have been crazy for MLB.
The 2020 season was like a taste. It was a pretty solid season, but it was shortened.
Yeah.
Since then, the MLB has been absolutely cooking. 2019 was like a little taste of what was about to happen.
Well, 2019 was just a shit ton of homers, and that was it.
Yeah. 2019 was like, well, this might eventually be
Let's
good.
juice the balls, guys. Let's get people involved. And
Yeah.
that's all they did.
Do we all agree that MLB postseason is better than NBA? Because that's where I'm at. I think NBA postseason's a little bit too long, almost.
Recently, yes, the MLB has been better than the NBA. But if we go back to like the mid-2010s, I feel like the NBA bet.
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
I think the postseason kind of defines the season overall, though. Let's be real.
Right.
No one's gonna. I think MLB is better than the NBA right now.
I think the best NBA series are better than the best MLB series, but I think in general, baseball is the better series.
I just prefer MLB, guys. I used to be an NBA guy. It was
think I
my
do, too.
favorite, and over time, the older I get, the more and more I love baseball. It's my favorite to go
usually
to.
what
I just
happens.
love. The thing that's great about baseball is it's the perfect, in my opinion, the best spectator sport because when you go to a game, you can witness one of the most electric moments you'll see, and it's also going to be the most chill atmosphere at the same time.
Yeah.
You can get a home run and absolutely come out of your seat, and 5 minutes later you can just be chilling, walking around while a dude strikes out.
Yeah.
And it's like it can balance that. No other sport can do that. And NFL, it's constantly super exciting, and then you're sitting there. Super exciting, and then you're sitting there. Same thing with college football.
Yep.
And then for NBA, you can't really take your eyes off the game, for better or for worse.
Yeah, nah.
And baseball, I think viewership-wise, it's the least commercials. So, I mean, that's the selling point when it comes to television. I mean, what's better than that?
Hopefully, Manfred and the broadcasting corporations don't mess that up because that's the part I love about baseball. But
Yeah.
just
All right.
I think we're all pretty pumped for the postseason, so
100%.
We'll be
see
back.
how it goes.
See if Andy wants to pop back on it. Once again, have a little 3-man roundtable. Maybe we'll add somebody else, and we'll just completely pack the dorm room.
oh, perfect.
But it's been great, and we're going to be excited to watch the games. It's going to be awesome, and probably about, a week and a half, we'll be back on, talk about the pennant.
Yes, sir. Can't wait.
All right, thank you, Andy. Thank you, RJ.
Thank you, Ryan.
Braves.
All right, see you on the next one. All right, now.
Peace.